find out what Board of Christian Outreach is and find out how you can get involved either now or when you become a member. So here's Becky.
Here's Becky.
You can bring the chair if you want.
Want me to?
Yeah. Applause, applause.
Come up here.
You want one of those chairs up here?
Applause.
You have to hold it up to the microphone. Or you have to hold it up to the microphone.
Say anything,
Next
or
time you can be, I'll be
and then we switch. Yeah.
We could go down the list just like what is the purpose of Coco? What do they do?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, Coco is basically we're in charge of all of the outreach initiatives or projects that the church gets involved in. So we do a lot of different things. Some things you are probably familiar with, and some maybe you're not so familiar with. The box is one of the things that we're in charge of. So you know, that box that sits out in the front of the church, and every month we collect material items for a different charity. Coco decides a recipient for the box for every month. We publicize that to the church, you know, make sure that it's in all of the you know, the C10, the newsletter, that it gets announced every Sunday. And then at the end of the month, you know, we deliver those items to whatever the organization is. You guys are familiar with the box, right?
Not everybody goes
Yeah.
to church
No?
here.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
who
So-
delivers?
Pardon me?
Who delivers all this stuff?
Just different members of the board. So,
You go.
like for example, for the month of November, we're collecting toys for Pine Ridge. For December, we're gonna be collecting, hats and mittens and scarves for Indian Hill School. We collect items for Youth Emergency Services, Sienna Francis House, lots of different organizations in town.
What's Pine Ridge?
The Indian Reservation in South Dakota, yeah. So that's one of the things that we're in charge of. The other thing that BOGO handles is the special offerings that we have at Christmas and Easter. So every Christmas and Easter, we select a recipient for the special congregational offering. So this Christmas in December, we're going to be, the recipient of the Christmas offering is going to be Los Chavalitos, which is a clinic for children in Nicaragua. And so for that, we, you know, again, we publicize that to the congregation. We arrange to have speakers come every Sunday to kind of give information about what Los Chapelitos does, what the money, you know, would be used for. We send out a letter to the congregation telling them about the offering and just, you know, encouraging them to give what money they can for that. And then we do the same thing for Easter, have a special offering for, you know, an organization that we determine. So that might be something that you've heard of or are familiar with.
How do
Other
you
things.
decide which organization you're going to give the money to?
Well, for the Christmas offering, we rotate between 4 different organizations that have ties to Countryside. So there's Los Chavalitos, Asian Rural Institute, which was who the recipient was last year, Together, which is an organization here in Omaha, and the Community Cupboard, which is the food pantry that Countryside sponsors. So, so we rotate that one of those 4 organizations for Christmas every year, just to make sure that we're continuing to support those particular ones. For the Easter offering, we vote on a recipient based on applications. So we have an application that we'll send out to different organizations, and have them, fill it out, describe what they would, use the money for, and then we vote on a recipient.
How much money do those offerings usually raise?
It varies. Typically, it's anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 usually. It usually ends up being a pretty substantial amount.
Yeah.
The other thing another thing that we do is we have what we call SSGs, or small service grants. Those are small grants up to $500 that individuals or organizations can apply for. We have an application that they can fill out and describe what they would need the money for, what they would use it for, and again, it's up to $500. Those are things like Coco usually fills out an SSG application to supplement the Toys for Pine Ridge Drive, which that did get approved, by the way.
Hey.
So, other examples of those, and we've got a gal that purchases Spanish English children's books and Spanish English dictionaries that get passed out at the community cupboard. That's another example of things an SSG is used for. We've had individuals, we had an individual a couple years ago who was doing a project at Pine Ridge to build chicken coops for a group of individuals there to raise chickens. We donated money to purchase the materials to build the chicken coops with. So lots of different things that the SSGs could be used for. We also help support FATE, which is a committee of people here at Countryside that work on different initiatives, environmental initiatives. Let's see what else we're getting.
Could junior hires come up with a thing to do with a SSG? Could they get a grant?
Yeah, yeah.
What are the requirements?
Well, again, it's just filling out that application, basically. It just, it really just needs to be an outreach project that, a small amount of money would benefit.
Anybody have ideas on what to do?
I think the qualifications are pretty open, as long as the applications, is pretty descriptive, so, and assuming that we have enough, funding for it. So.
How many of those do you get a year?
Well, it kind of varies. Several, usually, yeah.
Do you have to turn any down?
We probably only would if we just had run out of funds. We have a set budget every year. So if we just happen to be out of money, or I can't think of any that we really actually turned down. I think as long as we have a good understanding of what the money would be used for, and know that there's a group or individuals in place that are going to actually take it to an end, or whatever, whatever it is they're wanting to use it for, that they're going to actually make it happen.
Has anyone tried to get a grant and has anyone tried? Has anyone gotten a grant and not used the money for the real purpose?
Not that I'm aware of.
Can you do that?
Typically what we
SSG.
typically the way it works is if we would, approve the application, then the individual would
No.
purchase whatever it was they needed, or, were asking for that money for, and then give us a receipt, and then we would reimburse them for it.
What What about the fake receipts?
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So with Pine Ridge, we just learned about that in social studies. So what are you doing with the money, like for the SSDs? Like what are you gonna do, like public restaurants or like childcare?
You mean for the one that Coco just
Oh, a
submitted?
toy drive?
Yeah, it's to supplement the toys.
There's an organization here in town called Toys for Pine Ridge. Larry Dunn, he's a musician, he runs that, and he has events all over Omaha, and people bring toys, it's a toy drive. And he also provides propane to families, because that's a big issue in the winter, running out of propane. So after we collect all the toys and we go shop for more, he shows up with a truck, and then he takes it to Pine Ridge and distributes them.
Can we help, like?
Yeah, wait, do we get a
Yeah.
We should shop or win?
I was like, oh, Target?
December 2nd.
Walmart?
Yeah, you can definitely do it.
Wait, is that on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Why did you change the Coco?
Yeah.
Can we go back to, can we go back to every Sunday?
Well, I would go every week.
And
just
we're back.
okay, back.
I'm fine to go once a month.
You know what?
August.
So wait, you're telling me we get a shop for free?
I said August.
Not for you. Not for us. No, because this thing you can fly, like, you
Only
can
thing that you
buy
want
that.
to do is math problems.
What?
You're
You're
so
confusing,
bored,
Jack.
the
Shut
only
up.
thing you want to do is math problems. Well, does this actually kind
Oh,
of
I have a question.
No, no,
Why are you on
I'm starting with this
Coco?
one too. It's gonna be a budget. One,
Well,
and
I,
then
I like
first,
being involved
and then I
in
have the first
the
even
church.
number plus the second,
Just kind of helps me feel more connected.
and then
I like Coco because
which is five.
it's gratifying, I guess, to be involved in efforts like this that you can see are benefiting other people outside of our walls. Gives you a good feeling when we deliver the the box collection to the different organizations. They're always, very grateful, and just kind of gives you a good feeling, so it's very gratifying.
What are you excited for Coco this year?
Excited for.
Why is that fun?
Well, something that we did recently that was kind of cool was we gave some money to help out the families in O'Neill, Nebraska that have been impacted by the immigration raids. So I don't know how much you guys know about what's going on there, but a lot of families were impacted by that because basically the fathers or husbands of the head of the family, were not unable to work, and their families are dependent on them. So they needed all kinds of support, food and legal fees and things like that. And we were able to react pretty quickly to kind of an immediate need and give money toward that effort. We helped we gave money to purchase a freezer to keep all the food donations in up there. So it's kind of, it's a good feeling to be able to react to kind of immediate emergency situations like that when the need arises.
And Coco's in charge of the community effort.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd say we're in charge of it, well, maybe we are kind of. We definitely support that. I guess a lot of their budget kind of falls under our budget. We have a number of board members that are very involved with that. So yeah, that's one of the one of the rotating recipients of the Christmas offering. But we also have money kind of designated to help kind of ongoing support of that as well.
Did the cupboard come from the SSG program, or did it kind of inspire the SSG?
No, I don't believe so. I think the cupboard originated from just a couple
Right, a couple
countries I
different
naturally falls under, you know, I mean, it's definitely an outreach sort of initiative, that kind of definitely falls under the bailiwick of Coco. Any other questions?
Are there new things that you guys are working on?
We're kind of working on the idea of an adult service trip or adult mission trip. Haven't gotten too far with that idea yet. We're still trying to kind of research, see what other churches have done. You know, kind of get our arms around what would make sense to try to move forward with, but that's one of the ideas we've been working on.
What part of Coco do you like best?
That's a question for you guys, is, of the things that you've heard about.
Well, I don't know what the word means.
Which word?
Ministries.
What are the myths?
This kid's like 4.
That question's for you guys, like, of the things that we've talked about that Coco does, which one do you like best so far? So, you can write it down,
I like the box.
you can write it down.
Yeah, let me talk about that one.
You have a question, Lydia?
Yeah, I have a question, sir. How does like your organization work? Like, is there like one person in charge of like one thing, and like how do you like organize it?
Well, we have, this year we have co-chairs, myself and Robin Stark. So we always will have a chairman or a co-chair or 2 co-chairs. A treasurer who just kind of keeps track of the budget expenditures. An informal secretary who will take meeting minutes when we have our monthly meetings. Then within that, we're divided up into different committees. So there's a committee that kind of spearheads the box. There's a committee for SSGs that funnel all the SSG applications. There's a communications committee that, you know, makes sure that we get our announcements published in the weekly bulletins and put on Facebook, that sort of thing.
How long have you been with Coco?
This is my 3rd year.
Coco's a cool word.
So are like the committees that,
Yeah, and then we have to add all these other stuff.
I guess the ministries would be like the box, the special offerings, the SSGs.
How long has Coco been around?
I'm not sure I know the answer to that question.
Well, is it connected to Countryside, or is this a separate thing?
No, it's connected to Countryside, yeah.
This is how the church organizes itself. It has
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
boards.
one of the
donations
boards
and
So-
of the church.
So BOCO is in charge of a particular aspect of the church.
Fine. I'm still confused.
What was the last board we heard from?
What?
What
Oh,
was the last board we heard from?
She talked about the box and how long she's been around with Coco.
No, we're not.
Sorry.
wasn't it like the children's board?
I guess
Or no, or was that earlier? Or did we even talk about that?
Oh, Board of Elections.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, 2 numbers down.
Alright, any other questions?
Why do we
You go.
keep coming out with
Yes. Oh, sorry. Then,
Any other questions, or?
Do you have youth on the board right now or not this year?
No, we don't. It seems like when I very first joined 3 years ago that we did, but I don't know that is still
Yeah, they
in place.
It's in place, it's not,
Is it?
it's not mandatory, like if we have the right
Okay.
people for it.
interest of yours to do outreach, it
Yeah.
would be a good board to be on. And my daughter's a senior, and so she's applying for all these different scholarships and stuff like that is stuff that you can talk about in essays that you write, you know, if you're a part of helping people, so. Something to think about for high school.
When's the earliest you can join Boca?
You have to be a member.
Yeah.
So
When
for
can you
you,
become a member of Boca?
you have to be a member of the church.
Yeah.
So
Oh, so
when you get
this year?
confirmed, you can become a member of the church.
Yeah.
But it is
I think all of the boards, you know, have start their membership year like every February.
All right, thanks, Becky.
Thank you.
Applause, Jonathan, applause. Oh, did nobody hear?
All right,
Not.
card.
Hey, August.
Card.
I'm in second
What?
And you get a card. And you get a card. And you get a card. Yeah, cars. And you get a card. No. And this guy was the sound effects guy. Can we get a round of applause for this guy? Yep. Here we go. Here we go. This guy was playing. I always went like this. It was going like that, and it was all of a sudden coming up. Ha ha. I drive a Hyundai.
All right. You can video this part when I explain it.
Try to end it now.
What?
Try to end it now.
Oh, is it still going? No, just hang on a second. Okay. So.
And now I need, this
No, you
is
don't have to
gonna
read
be,
it. Okay.
I need a much bigger sheet of paper.
Guys, what you're gonna do with this card, you can either work with somebody or by yourself. You're gonna come up with, and you can do this at home too. It's easy, just get a card
I mean, you.
or email Jack.
Jack.
So, if you got a $500 grant from an SSG, what would you do with
I
it?
spent it on a DJ.
I'm George, whatever it was. On what would you do? Yeah, right. With this
The best idea we will do. The best idea we will do it. We will fill out the application and get an SSG. Is that bad?
$100.